Hello, and welcome back to Films, Comics, Books, and Games, world's greatest podcast. Flex. Yeah.
I mean, of course.
Today we're going to be talking about some Lord of the Rings, one of the greatest fantasy stories of all time. I'm Ari. I'm James.
I'm Ari. Duh.
Yeah, and I'm James.
You're James. Yeah. Films, Comics, Books, and Games.
Yes.
You better not forget it.
Yeah. Full name reveal. My name is James Anonymous.
My name is Ari Anonymous. Whoa, we're from the same family. No.
We're brothers?
No. I don't think we are. If we were, that would be really weird.
Yeah, though, sort of makes sense, because if we're related, then that would make sense as to how we're recording together during
Except, even though...
Actually, we're in different places. We're talking over Discord.
Yeah, hold on. My headphones just got unplugged because I have expert skills. Alright.
Yes, pro recorder here.
Okay, so... first off, I figure we should start with... Do you know what was the first publication Tolkien ever had?
I believe it was The Hobbit.
Okay, and what year was that? Like 30 something?
Yeah, let me check.
Because I know he was born in I think it was 1893. Was it?
I think so. The Hobbit publication date. September the 21st, 1937.
1937.
Yes.
Okay.
See, so interesting story about The Hobbit. I don't know if this is actually true, but I'm pretty sure it's true. Tolkien, The Hobbit, before it was published, he would tell it as like a bedtime story for his kids.
Yeah, I heard that too as well.
Yeah, and his little kid, when he told his youngest one, when he was old enough to hear the story.
Well,
he loved it, and Tolkien would tell it to him all the time, and he would always be like, "Wait, I thought you said it was a blue hood. I thought you said it was the ring was on this hand. I thought Gollum was pronounced Gollum."
So he would just correct it into a precise, really well-defined story, and eventually, I assume Tolkien said, "Hey, I could make a book out of this."
No, Tolkien had to make notes of stuff so that he would get it right.
Oh, really?
And eventually, he had the full story written down. And he was like,
I basically just have to add cohesion.
Yeah, pretty much. And
okay.
Then published it, and the story that we all know
cohesion he added.
It was actually, and my dad read it to me as a bedtime story when I was a kid.
How do you read? I mean, I guess I wonder how many days it took Tolkien. I mean, of course, it would probably be paraphrased, essentially, if you were to hear the original version as a bedtime story. But, he probably added, 3 times the detail in the book. But still, a story like that.
It was probably a bit chunky. Yeah, well, when I read it as a bedtime story, when it was read to me, it was it wasn't all in one night.
Oh no, no, it was although you have your I'm pretty sure your record is reading it in 2 days, right?
Yes. Yeah, I believe so.
I could never do that.
I have read The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings more times than I can count.
And yet you've only read the Silmarillion once.
It's just too thick.
I know. It's too... I've never actually read it, but even just reading, the prologue in, the first book of Lord of the Rings, it's so meaty. I think if I read too far, I would probably have a heart attack from all the cholesterol. Wait, I'm confused. Cholesterol. I don't know, James. You know what I'm trying to say.
I mean, I do. I don't know if the fans do.
Fans.
I love I say it like we have fans.
I know.
Hey, by the way, changes going on.
I'm sure you can tell because you're listening to this on YouTube, obviously.
Yeah, we have moved it from our website, which linked it to Mediafire, to YouTube. Less janky.
Well,
it's
yeah,
less janky.
Also, that, and also, it's just like, it was a bit too quick to kick off with a website, right? It's a lot easier to just do it on YouTube with our other productions, especially to fill in for the blank space.
Yeah, like, already, you guys would have only found our podcast
from our YouTube channel.
From our YouTube, yeah.
So we figured, hey, why not just streamline it, and it makes it easier for everyone, really.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, you know, it should work. Should work out.
Should work out.
Yeah, I mean, also, if you're one of our few pity subscribers, then thank you. Thank you sincerely very much.
And if you're not, pity us and subscribe.
Exactly.
Or if you actually like us, subscribe not out of pity. That would also
just
be
for
nice.
more content. But yeah, back to Tolkien.
Tolkien, yay!
Yeah. So
he's the best.
He's the best. You should just write a song about Tolkien.
Tolkien, yeah, Tolkien. He wrote a book about a hobbit, about a hole in the ground. In that hole there lives a hobbit, not like a wormhole.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's not dank. It's not moist. It's actually quite really nice.
As you would know if you played Lord of the Rings online and bought yourself a nice little hobbit hole.
Yeah.
Sidetracked.
So
but I digress.
It would be pretty annoying to go in there if you're an ordinary man. Because
it's not
the
that
ceilings
bad.
are short, so it'll probably bump your head.
Depends on the hobbit hole. Depends on who built it.
But right now this is a song about Tolkien, not his hobbit
For a second, I heard you say this is a song about cocaine, and I was like, no, it's not.
No.
But yeah,
Well,
so Tolkien, the Hobbit.
Yeah.
Or
there and back again.
Was the Lord of the Rings, also a bedtime story, or did he just decide to expand it?
No, I'm pretty sure it just decided to expand.
Okay.
It's a bit darker than The Hobbit. I don't know if he'd be telling it to his kids. Though, to be fair, it was also written to me at the bedtime story.
Yeah. Didn't he live in, British Republic, India? Or Republic?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure he was just... I'm pretty sure he lived in just England.
Okay. Maybe I'm just stupid, which is entirely possible.
Yeah.
What about The Hobbit do you think is so popular? And by extension, Lord of the Rings.
Well, it's just an amazing story. It's just incredible. It's got some classic hero's journey with Bilbo. It's got dragons and treasure,
which
and
everybody
magic,
loves,
and dwarves, and it just works on so many different levels. It's so great. I mean, it's
also
got
the world building.
And it's also got. Thank you very much.
What?
In the book, it doesn't happen in the movie for some dumb reason. But in the book, when they ride the barrels down to Lake Town, Bilbo gets a bit of a cold. So whenever he's called on to make a speech, which is often because they were kind of like celebrities before they went off to fight the dragon, Bilbo, he could only say, "Thank you very much," because he has a cold.
Oh yeah.
It's funny. And I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure when he told this story to his kids, Tolkien would do a funny voice and be like,
Yeah, actually, I saw a video recently of somebody testing out floating in a barrel. Did not work as intended. Although, technically...
Did the Modern Rogue do that?
No. I don't actually remember the channel.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you know, it is a world with, elves and dwarves and hobbits and walking, talking trees that crush cities, and wizards that can destroy the universe, and...
Hey, wait, what do you mean they can destroy?
I'm kidding. But then, like, Mordor, so it's not exactly like it matters.
Yeah,
but
probably magic elf barrels.
Yeah, no kidding. Elf barrels, man. I really wish I could, I was about to say store some wine in there, but I don't drink wine. So,
yep,
also, why would I store wine in a barrel just because I feel like it?
I mean, the elves store wine.
Well, but because they make wine. I wouldn't just feel like storing wine in a barrel and then put it in a barrel. Yeah. That's kind of a waste of barrel.
And of wine.
And of wine, yeah.
All around waste.
So, what is, so, actually, quick question about what is the prologue in, the first book of The Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring? What is the prologue about?
Jeez, I don't know.
Okay. If you don't know, then nobody knows. No.
Yeah, because I'm the resident trivia buff on this podcast. I know everything.
Oh, dude,
I know what you had for dinner last night.
Actually,
I know
you do know that. Yes, you do know both of those things. You do know what I had for dinner.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to those viewers.
Oh,
listeners.
Okay, but you also know what I had for dinner last night.
Yeah, and your real name.
Yeah. Also, yeah. As I actually meant to say at the start of this in the intro, this is a show about me asking James questions and getting answers that stump me.
I mean, basically, at this point.
Yeah, basically. Man. But hey, at least I'm learning something.
Yeah, I mean, it's just because I'm the guy that has my brain just stores those facts forever.
Your brain is just so incredibly big.
Yeah, the thing is, I can remember all sorts of facts about Harry Potter, about Tolkien, about comics, everything. But I can't remember history for a damn.
Yeah, I know. That's always how it feels, man.
I can't.
Actually, I'm kind of the other way around.
Of course.
I mean, you can read a book crazy fast and remember 3 times as more as I can. As more? Yes, you can remember 3 times as more as I can. Because that's how grammar works.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, it's the 21st century. Who cares?
Do you know what was kind of what is okay? So this is, I'm sure, a question a lot of people have. My answer is always, well, orcs are the above ground, goblins are the underground. What is the difference and what is the relation?
Well, actually, there is no difference. They're the same thing.
Really?
It's a terminology thing. Hobbits call them goblins, but then like men and elves call them orcs. It's just
really. So it's like how hobbits call themselves hobbits, but other people call them halflings.
Exactly. It's just a matter of terms, just different terms for different people.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you if you've ever watched the movies, you'd be like, wait, then what?
Yeah, the Lord of the Rings movies are great, but the Hobbit movies are trash. They're just trash. I hate them.
I mean, honestly,
it's because because they tried to stretch him out into The Hobbit into 3 different movies.
Which doesn't...
It's a short story. 1 movie. Maybe 2 movies. Not 3 movies.
Yeah, no kidding. But, also, Smaug.
Yeah, what about him?
He is not that big.
True. It's true, he's not very big.
I mean, even if the illustration in some of the books isn't exact, still concept applies. I'm pretty sure Tolkien actually made Smaug on, like, you know, the sort of fictitious at the time dragon that was like maybe 7 times the size of a human, but not like fills up an entire cavern.
Yeah, he's not that big.
Yeah, but in the movies, they made him so freaking big. Oh, and you know the thing?
Yeah.
The thing is, based on actual, like, historical lore, whatever, of, dragons, dragons actually have their whole belly is a soft spot. Whole belly. But...
Oh, well...
Yeah?
What? Well, no, no, you finish.
But, if you, think about the scale of Smaug compared to how big he was supposed to be, you could kind of feel like, hey, that scale is probably the size of his entire stomach, realistically. So, I guess, really, not much difference made. But, also, Bard did not fire an arrow out of a ballista in a tower. He just shot an arrow.
Yeah, just an ordinary arrow.
It was not, and, as well, it wasn't some kind of special black arrow. It was, as the story specifically reminded us, his lucky arrow. It wasn't something special. It wasn't an heirloom. It was his.
Yeah, it's just a fancy arrow that he had that he always retrieved from battle.
And that was kind of the point, was that he was a good archer, and that was the story of his, like, success. It wasn't supposed to be like, oh, this arrow is magical and amazing. It's like the Mulan movie. Mulan isn't supposed to be special. That's the whole thing. She makes her own success.
Which Mulan movie? The good one or the live action?
The live action one.
It's not. Okay, so.
Sorry, that's what I meant. She's not supposed to be special. That's the thing. She is herself, and she makes her own. To quote Shay from Assassin's Creed Rogue, she makes her own luck. That's kind of her thing. But then they decided to say, hey, well, no, you're special, and that's why you can succeed. And it's like, no, that's stupid. And that's kind of how it happens with Bard, which is kind of sad, because the whole point of Bard is Bard was a hero for what he did, for his accuracy, for his skill, and for his bravery.
Yeah, all the other archers were like, oh my god, we're all gonna die, let's get out of here, wow, not fun.
Yeah, and, like, Bard said, like, hey, we're not down for the count. I will fire this one last arrow, and this is my last hurrah, but even if it doesn't work, at least I fired the arrow.
Yeah, Bard, he's the best.
He really is kind of great.
Yeah. Then he became the king.
of the Dale Lands, yeah.
Yeah, which is, it's not really a kingdom, it's a city.
It's really overlooked, honestly. It's kind of an epic place, but in a lot of the story, no matter what parts, it's really kind of just skimmed over.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad, because it's pretty epic.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a city on a lake.
Well, not anymore. It sunk.
Did the whole thing sink?
I mean, nobody lives on it anymore. They moved back into the old Dale City, remember? Made a new one.
No, actually.
Yeah, they just kind of abandoned it after Smog burnt it and destroyed a bunch of it.
I mean, I guess that's reasonable. But dude,
Yeah.
it was like Venice.
Well, Venice isn't on a lake. It just has a bunch of rivers in it.
I mean, but effectively, with like the openings and stuff, it's effectively the same in practice, not in theory. But
Venice. I always wanted to go.
you know, I wonder if that's what he was thinking of when he made the Dalelands.
It might have been partially inspired.
Yeah, it's always interesting to think of, especially a great writer like Tolkien's inspiration, because obviously he took a lot of his inspiration from the real world.
Yeah, but then again, maybe not, because The Hobbit came out in the late 30s. That's when, like, Mussolini would have been starting out.
That's true.
Though I guess he
true.
did make the story a while before he got it public.
Yeah. Should we move on to The Lord of the Rings now?
Yeah, sure.
A little less towards The Hobbit, because The Hobbit is great and we could spend like 5 hours talking about it, but for like a 50-minute or less recording, I figure.
Yeah. Well, Hobbit's all well and good, and I love it. Great book. But let's talk about its younger, less popular brother, Lord of the Rings.
I don't think it's less popular.
Well, it's definitely younger.
Yeah, definitely younger, but I wouldn't say it's less popular.
Yep. Yeah. Nobody's ever heard of it before.
I mean, it's true that I never got like a 75-year edition of Lord of the Rings, but still, it's not that much younger or that much less popular.
Yeah.
You actually gave that to me, didn't you?
What, your copy of The Hobbit?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a birthday present. That's the same copy I have as well.
Yeah. Alright, sorry. But I digress.
Yeah.
So, The Lord of the Rings starts out as a Tolkien book should, in the Shire.
The Shire.
And then, the difference is, the protagonist, Frodo, as opposed to Bilbo, is, has to start his own journey. Because he doesn't have the help from like Gandalf and stuff, right?
I mean, he has Gandalf.
Gandalf comes, he explains some things, he gives Frodo the ring, right? But
and then he's just like, well, off to Rivendell.
Yeah, no kidding. He kind of leaves, which kind of sucks, cause like, I mean, not story wise, but like, it's kind of rude, Gandalf. Couldn't you at least help him? He's never gone on some kind of quest. He's never defeated a dragon.
I mean, he was planning on coming back. It's just Black Riders and getting captured by Sauron.
Black Riders. Gandalf.
I mean,
this is Gandalf we're talking about.
I mean, he did get captured by Saruman. That's what slowed him up. Saruman kicked his butt.
It's true. And then they met Strider and Breland, but only after very difficult.
Don't forget about that one guy.
Bill Fernie?
No, Tom Bombadillo.
Oh yes, Tom Bombadillo. Oh, such a great guy. Such a great guy. I was just kind of like skipping ahead, and then I was gonna go back and fill in the details and stuff.
Tom Bombadillo.
Yeah. Oh man, dude.
Takes care of Old Man Willow.
Oh man. Everybody loves him.
Yeah. Except for Peter Jackson.
Peter Jackson.
Cut out. Yeah, the guy that made the movies.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah,
when I
where was
watched
he?
that, I was like, stop, stop, stop. What happened? What did you
Where's
do to Tom Bombadil? What
where
have you
where is he?
done?
What did they do to him? Is he?
I was like getting ready for bloody murder.
Did Tom Bombadil get got by Old Man Willow?
Except he couldn't have, because that's not how the story goes. But, you know, as we always say, don't judge a book by its movie.
Yes.
But,
Yes.
yeah, like, still, it was, if you've only watched the movies and you haven't read the books, I know they're long and they're meaty, and especially in, like, book 2 at, like, the middle to end, it is so hard to get through. It is like a chunk. It's like getting stuck in honey. But yeah, so, just for time's sake, paraphrasing, basically, they went to Bree, they did some stuff about Butterbur, they met Strider, they had some scuffle with, like, what's his name, Bill Verney? Bill Verney, that's him, right? And then they stole his horse, after they beat him up, right?
No, Sanders threw an apple and hit him in the nose.
Oh, yeah. But that was good enough, and then they stole the horse. They stole the apple.
No, they bought. Actually, they bought the apples.
They bought
the horse.
The horse? Oh, okay.
Yeah, they bought it from Bill Verney, and then threw an apple. Pow.
Yeah. And then on their ventures, they stopped at Weathertop, didn't they?
Yeah, and then Frodo got stabbed.
Yeah, and then hence the one of the main issues in the story. Frodo got a bit stabbed.
Yeah, how is that an issue?
Because it was that stab was wasn't that kind of a reoccurring problem?
No.
Just in general? That's what I remember.
No,
Maybe
he had a problem with it for a while, but then Elrond was like, "Oh, I'll take that out."
Oh, okay.
But
hold up, you just like glitched out of the call for a moment.
no, you did.
No, you
That
did.
was you. Somebody did. I just heard.
It makes the same sound actually when you join the call as when somebody else joins the call.
Well, I don't know who left and who joined. I don't care.
I think it's
Somebody
normally you. But yeah. Yeah, so, and then, after Weathertop, didn't they just make their way towards Rivendell?
Yeah, they just went straight to Rivendell.
Wasn't there...
Why are we just telling them the story? If you guys want the story, go read the book.
So, the Council of Wizards... I know this is kind of out of the blue, but I know you know more about this than most people. What is it? Because I know...
Nobody knows. It's a mystery.
Really? I thought you knew, because
Yeah.
you know there are more wizards,
Yeah, well, there's Gandalf, there's Sauron,
there's Radagast.
There's Radagast, and there's the two blue wizards that you never see.
Yeah, and Radagast actually did not appear in the books.
Well, he was mentioned.
He was mentioned, but he was not some kind of important character in anything.
But not in the Silmarillion, not in the Lord of the Rings, not in the Hobbit. Nowhere do they actually tell us what the wizards are and where they came from. They just showed up and helped fight Melkor.
Okay,
They're just randomly hey, we're gonna help fight this bad guy that's killing all the elves. Woo!
Yeah.
Well, do you want to hear what the Lord of the Rings are based off of?
Oh, yes. Yes, I do.
World War II!
Wait, really?
Yeah, because
Is that
they
a
were
thing?
Yeah, they were published in the 50s, shortly after World War II. Tolkien fought in World War II. He was an officer.
Oh,
yeah, he was an officer.
Interesting.
Yeah, he was an officer because he was rich.
Yeah. Basically.
Yeah. So basically, like, in the beginning, you see, like, elves showing up at the Shire. Near the Shire. Talking about Sauron and stuff. That's about, like, people were coming in from, like, to England from, like, France and, like, Germany and stuff, like, running away.
Yeah.
Telling stories about what like, the Nazis were doing. Maybe a few people from Italy talking about Mussolini. So, I think maybe Sauron was supposed to be, like, Mussolini or something.
The question is, was Sauron... Or Saruman, yeah, I was gonna say, was Sauron Mussolini, or was Saruman Mussolini and Sauron was Hitler?
I'm pretty sure Sauron was supposed to be Hitler.
Or at least the embodiment of his evil.
Yeah, Saruman is Mussolini, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. He was, like, a dictator, he had a lot of power, he had a lot of soldiers, he had a lot of things that could...
And then they just kind of dropped out of the war halfway through.
Yeah. Exactly. And with that, they gained fighting power for the Allies. That was basically how it went with, like, they got the orb and they got stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then they rode for Gondor. What exactly is Gondor supposed to be in this situation? Like, France or something?
Yeah, I guess.
Because, I mean, like, right near, always trying to fight back, but with no real hope on their own.
Yeah, it sounds like France.
Yeah, but then what actually happened in World War II is, a lot of French from Africa, the Free French, staged an invasion, and they actually fought back.
Yeah. So, wait.
Who were the Ents supposed to be, by the way? Because if
I don't know.
If Isengard was I'm just saying specifically in like metaphor for World War II sense, if Isengard was Italy, then the Ents would have to be America.
The Ents are America.
No, I mean, seriously, like, come in halfway through the war and say, oh,
we're gonna
shit's
attack
going
these
down.
Guys.
We really gotta, like, put the pounding power in. And they did.
Except they didn't participate in the D-Day.
Oh, no, they didn't.
America was in D-Day, but whatever the D-Day
but still, like, hey, this is a hey, something's going on, our allies are getting destroyed, hey, we just gotta roll in everything we have. And they did something, but then they just kind of said, okay, our part is done.
I don't know, I think Rohan is America.
You think? I mean, I guess that would make a lot of sense.
Because Wormtongue was messing with the king of Rohan. Just like the American Nazis were kind of messing with America.
maybe the Ents were, like, Australia.
Australia!
Because they did participate in the war, however little you hear about them. Because they were technically under the control of the British.
Yeah, I mean, they participated. They didn't... Yeah, they were there.
A lot of people from Australia died in World War II.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, at the time, the British had control, and if they said go and fight, then what were they to do?
Yeah. Respect, Australia.
Respect. Always. Even though you only allowed gay marriage in 2017, what is wrong with you? Even America did that earlier.
Yeah,
and you're supposed to be progressive.
Yeah, but they did. But at least they cleaned up their gun problem before we did.
Yeah. But,
And they have koalas.
oh god, koalas are the cutest things. I've held one before. They're so adorable.
They're so endangered.
Oh, and they're so cute, and they're so sweet.
Yeah, you've been to Australia.
Yeah, I've held a koala.
Oh, you lucky.
Yeah, I know. I went there before it burned to the ground.
But
again, yeah.
Being in Australia is playing John Perkins.
Yeah, but again, I digress.
I digress.
I guess it's true. Rohan was a very deciding factor, but didn't show up until somebody came and said, "You gotta do something.
Yeah.
This is wrong." And they said, "Oh, shoot, yeah, we really do gotta do something." And so they did.
So then who's Russia in all this?
Oh, that's the question, isn't it? Because Russia was a deciding factor in so many ways in World War II.
And people were worried that they were going to join up with the Nazis.
Because they did.
Right, in World War I, right?
No, in World War II as well. They were technically on the side of the Nazis until Hitler got overconfident and thought that he could do the one thing that caused the fall of so many empires, such as Napoleon. Stage a land war in Russia.
Who does that? It's the dumbest thing you can do.
I know, and the scary thing is, if Hitler hadn't done that, there is such a higher chance that he would have achieved his goal and won the war.
I mean, we don't have to worry about that, because that didn't.
Yeah, thank God it didn't happen. But, who would be Russia? Because who did Sauron betray?
Who did Sauron betray?
And then get...
like, everybody?
And then get fired back on for it.
Nobody, really.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
He was just up against, like, everybody.
Yeah. So, I guess Russia was a bit, left out of the mix there. No.
Yeah, maybe Tolkien just doesn't like Russia. He's just like, them Russias. Them
Russias? Excuse me?
them Russians, they don't deserve to have a parody in my book.
It's possible that he just didn't like Russians.
Yeah, just
I mean,
like
he was British.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess that solves the question of what was his inspiration for the books.
Yep.
And then, cause, what? So, is there anything ever in the Silmarillion or any other thing that you could find about what happens after the retaking of the Shire?
The retaking of the Shire? You mean like when they come back to the Shire?
Yes, and what's his face? Saruman, Mussolini, is controlling the Shire.
Yeah, what's that based off of?
I don't know. It was a cool plot point.
Yeah, it was cool. It's kind of might be stretching the story a little bit, but it's still cool.
Well, stretching the story of World War II, but then again, it's his own story. He can do what he wants.
No, I mean, I feel like it could have just ended after the ring got thrown to the fire.
But it was a sort of good ending conflict that got resolved.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure it just lived happily ever after.
Yeah.
Sam had kids. Frodo, I guess,
didn't exist.
Yeah, he went off to the island with the elves, which is possibly a metaphor of death?
No, because
What?
The thing is, they knew, hey, I'm pretty sure the sort of concept was, hey, we have worn the rings, our corruption should not be in the world, and we have to go, at last. And it was sort of bittersweet, like, Sam has to say goodbye, but he also understands completely.
He wore a ring. Why didn't he have to go, too?
Sam never wore...
Yeah, no, he wore the one ring after Frodo got tighter.
He didn't he? Okay, yeah, but, he did wear the one ring.
Yeah, I guess maybe not for long enough to be a threat.
Yeah, but also it was kind of a conceptual kind of thing. Also, it was, what I think really is, it was sort of a marker of the elves are over in Middle-earth. The Third Age is over. The Fourth Age must begin. And all... Because what I actually got very clearly from that chapter at the end was, the Fourth Age has begun, and all remnant of the Third Age cannot be here anymore. And because of the enormous part played by Sauron and the rings, I think the concept was, hey, this has to go, and we have to have a clean slate for this new age, or else, what else could happen? And Frodo said, okay, and, hold on. Yeah, but Frodo said, okay, and he and Gandalf and Lady Galadriel and, what was it? Like, I don't think any dwarves even did that, though. Which you'd think some of them would have worn a ring sometime, although...
No, I mean, all the dwarves that wore rings died.
A long time ago, yeah.
Yeah, so
I guess they don't live this long. But, yeah, also, didn't Elrond go off with them because he had worn a ring?
I think he might have.
Yeah, but, and then remnant of the Third Age was gone, and the Fourth Age began without a flash and a bang. Basically.
Yep.
With
Pretty
peace and Sam.
Peace and Sam.
Peace and Sam.
The Gamgees, that's the Gamgees.
Yeah, that should be a motto. Peace and Sam. Like that one thing Homer said once, peace and chicken.
Peace and chicken. Right, what? Because he thought he was like a messiah.
Yes. Here, but we digress.
Peace and chicken.
But I digress. We should wrap this up real quick.
Yes, we should.
All right. Thank you everyone for listening. Assuming that you didn't just skip to the end, which I really hope you didn't. But really appreciate it if you could be so kind as to like and subscribe really quickly. It doesn't take that much time.
Yeah.
And that's just all. And most important thing, I hope you enjoyed listening.
Yeah.
Because that's we make this for ourselves, but also for you.
Yeah.
Because it's always good to put out a good vibe into the world.
Good vibe.
Yeah. But yeah. So thank you for listening, and see you next time. Hopefully. Hope you'll be there. Bye.
Goodbye.